be doing the book lover survival tag. This video is sponsored by Penguin Teen. The team at Penguin Teen came up with this awesome book tag inspired by a new book that'll be coming out, which I am already 75 pages into, and it's so good. That book being A Map for Rec Girls by Jessica Taylor. This is a new book that is going to be coming out in, let me think, less than 2 weeks. Okay, so the publication date is right around the corner. This book is a contemporary book that is also partly a survival story. So it follows our main character and her sister. Her sister is a year older than her, and her entire life she's just looked up to her sister and has trusted her and has always followed her and done whatever her sister has done, until one day her sister, and a boy get stranded on an island after their boat or their raft exploded, and they only have each other for company. So it's kind of like a tale of trying to survive, but also digging into the relationship between these two sisters, and they used to be really close and now they've drifted apart, and this mysterious boy also has secrets of his own. So it's like survival story mixed with like contemporary. So far the book is so good. Like I said, I'm only like 75 pages in. What made me say yes to reading this book in the first place was actually just the other authors that blurbed this book. Specifically, one of my new favorite authors, Stephanie Garber, who wrote Caraval, she blurbed it saying, wait, I have to pull up her thing here. Emotionally eviscerating? I can't even pronounce the word. Emotionally eviscerating. A gripping examination of the barbed wire bonds between sisters that cut, protect, and don't let go. Prepare to feel. After reading that blurb for this book, I was like, I'm sold, I'm reading it. Today I'm going to be doing the book lover survival tag, which basically is I have to pick 5 to 6 books that I would bring with me if I was stranded on a desert island forever. So immediately I was like, I'm just gonna pick all of my favorite books. But then I was like, you know what, I have to be more practical here. If I'm gonna be stuck on a stranded island, you know, I'm gonna want other books that I could relate to that have to kind of do with like being stranded or like going on a journey of some sort. Anyways, I picked 6 books here that I would bring with me on a stranded island, and I'm probably like immediately after filming this gonna be like, actually I would also bring this book and this book. Now there's no cheating with this tag. You can't pick like full series and count them as one book. You can only literally be one book. So it was a bit difficult for me. The first book that I choose is Shatter Me by Tahereh Mafi. Not only is it my favorite book, but it's also a book that follows a main character who is locked in a cell and hasn't been able to talk to other people for like 265 days. And so I feel like if I was stranded by myself, I'd be able to relate to this book because this character is by herself for a very long time before something happens in the book. I'm not gonna spoil you. It would just make my experience on the island easier, knowing that I have kind of this person, this character that's experiencing something similar. The second book I chose, which should be no surprise to any of you who have been watching my channel for a while, A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas. So this was really hard because the whole Court of Thorns and Roses series is my favorite ever, but I was like, okay, if I could only bring one book out of the 3 books in the series, which one would I bring? And immediately I was like, the best book, A Court of Mist and Fury. This book is just packed with everything, romance, action, like it's literally like every genre in one book in a fantasy book. Does that make sense? Sure, it makes sense. Okay, it makes sense. If you can see how much I've annotated it, like you can just tell how much I love it just by all the little sticky notes that I've taken. I've read it twice now, and I could honestly like sit down and read it again. Like it's that good, and so much stuff happens in this book. This book is so long that I feel like I could read it over and over again and I'd learn something new that I didn't remember the first time, or like the 3rd time, or like the 5th time that I read it. Next book I would bring, my last of my favorite books that I would bring, because I was trying not to pick all of my favorite books, but the next book I would bring is The Raven Boys by Maggie Stiefvater. This book is just gold. It is like if gold and diamonds were converted to book form, it would be this book. I absolutely love Maggie Stiefvater. I don't think I could live without her writing. Like I was just thinking to myself, okay, if there's an author I couldn't live without, who would it be? And I'm just like, Maggie Stiefvater. She is like, her words are magic and the book is magical, and it doesn't have to do anything with an island at all, but it's just one of my favorite books, and the characters and the friendships in this book, I feel like since I'd be by myself, I'd lack friends. Since I'd be stranded by myself on an island. This book here has an amazing friend group, and I think being able to at least read about having friends would help me feel less lonely on a stranded island. At least this This is what I'm telling myself anyway. The next book I would bring is a retelling of one of my favorite classic stories. And it's a standalone book, so I could just read it over and over again and not be like, I need the next book in the series. Tiger Lily by Jodi Lynn Anderson. I literally read this book like 2 weeks ago and it made me cry. It was so good, you guys. This book was so moving and so much deeper than I thought it was going to be going into it. I thought it was just going to be like a light, middle grade, like retelling of Peter Pan, but no, this is like a dark, young adult book from Tiger Lily's perspective, and this book actually takes place on Neverland, which is an island. It follows our main character, Tiger Lily, who is just living on this island. So again, I feel like I'd be able to relate to the main character because she's, you know, trudging through forests and fishing and swimming in the ocean and things like that. So I'd be like, hey, I'm doing the same thing by myself. Next book I would bring is The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. This book is a very powerful, moving book about a boy's journey to happiness, and it's like a great adventure book. It's very short. It follows this boy who has always dreamed of seeing the Egyptian pyramids, and he goes on this journey across different countries. He goes from having money to being poor and struggling just to see these pyramids, and I feel like this whole story, again, is something that will help me on this island while I'm by myself on my own journey of survival. This is also just one of my favorite standalone books. Paulo Coelho, his writing is just fantastic, and another author that I feel like I can't live without his writing. And last but not least, I chose this book specifically because I need at least one book that I can bring with me that'll actually help me like survive on an island by myself without modern technology and things like that. Myths and Legends of Hawaii. Now this book here just has a bunch of different original retellings of Hawaiian folklore, Hawaiian legends. It has like Hawaiian demigods and just different stories that we grow up hearing in Hawaii. What's really cool about this book is a lot of the stories, you know, they actually talk about fishing and you know, like islands, surviving on an island. So yeah, this book actually has a lot of really helpful information about surviving on an island, fishing, and just different little bits, you know, thrown in with these folklore stories. So I feel like this would actually help me like figure out, you know, how to build my own fish hook and like, you know, all that kind of stuff. Those are all the books that I would bring with me if I was going to be stranded on an island. I don't know who to tag now. I feel like everyone I'm going to tag is like someone who's already doing this video. I tag Peter over at Peter Likes Books. Hey Peter, I tag you. I tag Read by Zoe. Zoe, I feel like she's probably gonna do this video, but if you haven't done it, I tag you, Zoe. I tag Ashley over at Ashley Outpaged. I tag Katie at Vincent Van Stop. I tag you, you're it. I tag Lily at Lily C Reads. I'm dying to see what books you would bring if you were stranded on an island. I also tag Chammy at Read Like Wildfire. I tag Emily at Books with Emily Fox. I tag you. And I feel like I should tag at least like 2 more people. Okay, I tag Kelly at Kelly's Book Spill. And lastly, I tag A Dash of Ash. I love her channel name so much. Until next time, keep reading, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye!